My name is Austin Ahles. I'm fighting Anders Borg at Fighters Rep 19, September 9th at the Commerce Casino. From Thousand Oaks, California, right where we're at. Yeah, we're here. So my story is a little different. I had some medical issues that kept me out for a long time. I wasn't able to compete. I wasn't able to train. I had my first fight in 2018. I had a couple more and that was it. So since 2018, I haven't been able to compete. I just got healthy again beginning of this year and decided it's time to get back to it. So lost some time, but we're back. We're ready. Yeah, so I was born in Upland, about I don't know, I think an hour and a half from here somewhere, but only until I was like 3 or 4. And then I came here to Thousand Oaks and I've been here ever since. Yeah, man, it was cool. I had a good childhood. 2 good parents. I got a younger brother who I care about a lot. And yeah, I played a lot of sports. Football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever, a lot of team sports. And then around high school, I found out what fighting was. And something about just one-on-one, it was a little different. You know, there's a lot more pressure and I kind of think that's where I strive. I would watch Chuck versus Vanderlei or whatever, you know, and then I started finding some gyms around here and I didn't really have a home gym at first. You know, I was kind of going place to place, doing private lessons, just trying to find my way. You know, I was 15, 16 when I got into it. And then we finally got the ball rolling. Again, like I said, I think I was 20, 21 when I had my first fight. And like I said, missed some time, but we're back. Yeah, they were great. You know, my dad was pretty athletic growing up. My mom and like her side of the family, they're all kind of bigger and so, you know, they were all athletic and we grew up with some cousins and we all got into our own sports. Some were pole vaulting, some were track and field. I was more like the ball sports for a while, you know.
What's the conversation look like with your parents?
It's funny, my mom, she's the tough one. So she was like, hell yeah, like let's go for it. My dad, he's a little wuss. Yeah, I hope you're listening. He said he'll never show up to a fight. So he's never been to one of my fights. He doesn't want to see me get hit. He says he's going to have problems not jumping in the ring and so, you know, joking around. But he now understands how much I really love the sport in general, not just as a fighter, but like as a coach and how involved I am. And over the last couple of years, he's realized that it's not just like a phase kind of thing, right? Like when I was 16 telling him, like, bro, you don't want to fucking fight, shut up, right? Like now it's like, oh, okay, you really do want to do this, and he's very supportive. He means a lot to me. It was just like the commotion of all of it. Like these guys are fighting each other in a cage, and it's legal. Like they're not getting in trouble, and like, what form of competition could be more intense than that, right? Like one-on-one, you feel like it's for your life almost. You know what I mean? And so it separated itself from ball sports, where maybe if I'm playing a basketball game and we're down by a point, I always wanted to take that last shot. And if I didn't, I always felt like I could make it. And if I did and I missed, I liked that feeling of like, I gotta go get better. So sports, like again, team sports, when you take that away and now it's just you, right? I know it is a team, I have a team, we all understand that part, but when it's in the ring, it's just you. There's a lot of pressure, and like I said earlier, I think that's where I perform my best. In a selfish way, it's nice, right? Like you feel like, oh, I'm in here by myself and I got it done by myself, when really that's not the reality. You kind of tell yourself that, but more so the defeat. Again, like I said, playing basketball down by 1, I want that shot, I want that opportunity. And if I make it, like you said, you kind of get that selfish, glorified feeling that lasts for a little bit, but when you miss, that's what drives you, right? So it's the same thing when you're fighting, it's just you in here. There's nobody else to blame. You got to come to perform, and if you don't, bad things could happen, and you don't want bad things to happen, obviously, right? So yeah, that's what separated from me. I don't really know. It wasn't like something clicked. It was kind of just I woke up one day and was like, well, I'm in here doing it. You know, why would I be doing it for free or without a goal? You know, when again, it can be a brutal sport. You know, I'm not trying to do this just to do it, right? I mean, I guess kind of, because I do love it, but there's that balance, right? You're always fighting with yourself. Yeah, I would say 21 is when that switch happened. And then again, I got sick. And so it's been weird, man. But now, like, being back off a 5-year layoff and coming back to like an organization like Fighters Rep, I'm really excited about it. I feel that fire that I felt when I was 21, and I'm ready to just get back in there and put on a show.
When was your first fight?
That was 2018. It was in Arizona for a tournament. It was a short, easy night, fortunately for me. I got a head kick knockout in 26 seconds. And I remember going back to the locker room and feeling like I hadn't really fought. But once everything kind of settled, it was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing forever. Whether it's coaching, whether it's fighting, I know I'm involved forever.
Being trained, like,
Right.
this is for real.
Yeah, but you know, it's like, it's almost, you're kind of delusional before you get in there for the first time. So I wasn't really nervous for my first fight at all. I didn't know what I was getting into. And then because the way that it went, I still didn't really understand it. And then the second fight was like a 3-round, like decent scrap. And it was like, okay, now like, you know, I can do this and I belong, but then you've experienced it. So then you kind of get nervous for the next one, if that makes any sense. Like the first one, you don't really know what you're getting into, and then you get lucky and it was kind of an easy night. And then that second fight, you're kind of like feeling good, and then you get hit a couple times and you get through like a war and you're like, oh, okay, you know, like I can do this, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, again, like it was 5 years ago and I didn't really understand how serious it was at first. So I was kind of like taking it easy, you know, I stopped training, and then I kind of got back into it and I could tell something was off, right? I couldn't push myself, I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. But I took up coaching, and that ended up being like a huge blessing in disguise, not just for like a career path, and I found something that I really love doing, but when you can't train and when you can't compete, you feel like you're not getting better. But when you're coaching, you are getting better. You know, you're seeing everything from like an outside perspective. So even though I wasn't able to train for the last 5 years, again, up until earlier this year, I got a lot better as a fighter, as a coach, as a person, and it became a huge, like I said, a huge blessing, and it's something I'll do forever. Yeah, you know, like I'm a worrier, right? Like if my girlfriend texts me, hey, I'm coming home from work, I like until she gets home, I kind of like can't breathe all the way, right? Like it's just who I am. I don't know, it's weird, but when I'm in the ring, it's like the only time where I'm free. And I really mean free. Like I don't have to worry about anybody's feelings. I don't gotta worry about anything. I get to be who I want to be. No consequences, no nothing, right? Like I said earlier, like seeing these people fight in a cage and be like, that's legal. Like I get to go and like hit somebody and somebody gets to hit me and we don't get in trouble. And there's like a cool bond that you get with the person. Like, so for the only time for, you know, let's say on September 9th, for 6 minutes max, I get to be whatever I want to be, whoever I want to be. It's the most freeing thing in the world, and because I'm free, I feel like that's what makes me dangerous in there. I don't really worry about a lot of stuff. I'm very relaxed, I'm very calm, I don't get angry, I want to be friends with everybody, you know, whatever, like just a normal dude. Then you get in that ring and like, yeah, that Kobe switch turns on and it's like I said, it's time to go for 6 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, just do it to your best abilities, and you got 6 minutes to be whatever you want. And like I said, very freeing. It's a good feeling. Honors looks like, you know, again, big athletic guy. I think most are that you compete against. He seems like he's very skilled. He seems like if you give him the opportunity, he can be really dangerous. He's long, he's powerful. But I do see some holes, and it's my job to go out there and find the chin. You know what I mean? Violent. Again, I'm free. That's what makes me dangerous, right? Like I'm not worried about anybody's feelings. I'm not worried about anything, and I get to be who I want to be. And in that moment, I want to be aggressive. So I go forward. I don't try to win decisions. I go out there to finish people, and that's the bottom line. That's it. Yeah, man. Shout out to my brother Thor. Shout out to Rage. Appreciate you being a part of this whole thing. Shout out Dylan, Raymond, Cameron, Danny, Paul, Wes, and all. You know, I can go on and on and on. I appreciate my pugilist family. Shout out my girlfriend for dealing with me during the camp and being all grumpy. You know how that is. And I love you guys, and I'm looking forward to putting on a show.